So let's start. 2018 question paper. Okay, so we will only discuss the questions that are in syllabus. So, why could not manuscript satisfy the increasing demands of book in Europe? Okay, so more the lecture imposed control on published books because it feared that if there was no control over what was printed and read, the rebellious and irreligious thought might get spread. Nobles use vernacular because it is spoken by common people. Just a minute. 2 minutes. 2 now. Okay. Only reads margin scheme. Okay. Next is classification of resource on the basis of origin. Goals of development other than income, then equal treatment, freedom, security, respect for others. In category of economic sector, primary sector, informal sectors of credit, money lenders, traders, employers, relative. Then transformation due to print revolution. It influenced people's perception to open up a new way of looking at things. A new reading public emerged, increase in reading public intermingling मतलब वो धुंधला हो गया in hearing and reading public created the possibility of wide circulation of idea, introduced a new world of debate and discussion, stimulated many distinct individual interpretation of faith. Increased number of industry exert pressure on freshwater resource. Industry are heavy users of water, more demand of hydroelectricity energy. Industrial waste or effluents are discharged into rivers, causing water pollution. Multiplying urban centers due to industry has got pressure on water resource. Then amendment in Indian Constitution 1992. It is constitutionally mandatory to hold regular election to local government bodies. Then seats are reserved for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other backward classes. At least one third of seat is given to women. Then creation of state election commissions. State government are required to share some powers and revenue with the local bodies. Factors are deciding outcome of politics on social division, how people perceive the identity, how political leader. And secularism in the foundation of our country. There is no official religion. Our constitution doesn't give special status to any religion. The constitution prohibits discrimination on the ground of religion. Constitution provides all the individuals and communities freedom to profess, practice, and propagate their religion and not to follow any. The constitution allows the state to intervene in the matters of religion in order to ensure equality. Then importance of sustainable development, very important question. Sustainable development aims at fulfilling the needs of today without compromising the needs of future generation. Sustainability is capability to use resource judiciously and maintain the ecological balance. It lays emphasis on environmental protection and check environmental degradation to stop exploitation and overuse of resource. Service condition of organized and unorganized sector. Organized sector is registered by government, whereas unorganized sector is largely outside and they are scattered also and control of the government. In organized sector, workers enjoy security of employment, whereas unorganized sector jobs are insecure, low paid, and irregular. Organized sector numbers of working hours are fixed, whereas in organized unorganized sector numbers of working hour are not fixed. And additionally, in organized sector they are get overtime paid, while in unorganized system there is no provision like this. In organized sector, workers get several benefits such as paid leave payment during holidays, provident fund, while whereas unorganized sector doesn't have such facilities. Then importance of cheap and affordable credit of countries. Cheap and affordable credit would lead to higher income. Many people could borrow variety of needs. It encourages people to invest in agriculture, do business, and set up small scale industry. It enables more investment, which will lead to acceleration of economic activity. Affordable credit would also end the cycle of debt trap. तो क्या होगा चीफ एंड अफोर्डेबल क्रेडिट से कि उससे ज़्यादा हायर इनकम होगा तो पीपल जो होंगे वो ज़्यादा बोरो करेंगे क्योंकि उनको क्रेडिट चीप मतलब लोन जो है वो बहुत ही चीप मिल रहा है और उससे लोग एग्रीकल्चर बिजनेस और स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री में पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे इन्वेस्टमेंट से ज़्यादा आपका इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी होगा तो देश का जो इकोनॉमी है वो भी सुधरेगा फिर और क्रेडिट जो है वो डेट ट्रैप को भी रिमूव करेगा नेक्स्ट explosive condition of Balkans बहुत important है. Balkan was a region of geographical and ethnic variation comprising modern day Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece and Macedonia, whose inhabitants were broadly known as Slavs. Slavs का spelling देख लेना एक बार. Next, a large part of Balkan was under the control of Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Empire क्या था? Muslim Empire. The spread of idea of romanticism in the Balkan together with the disintegration of Ottoman Empire made this region very explosive. All through the 19th century, Ottoman Empire had sought to strengthen itself. The Balkan people based their claims for the independence of political rights and nationality and used history for their claim. Balkan also became the scene of rivalry among the big powers. Russia हो गया, Austria-Hungary, Britain. नेक्स्ट क्या है रोल ऑफ रिलीजियस ग्रुप्स इन डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एंटी कॉलोनियल फीलिंग ये छोड़ो अब इकोनॉमिक पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ मिडिल class in ancient क्या था movement started with a middle class participation. Thousands of students left college and controlled schools and colleges. Headmaster and teachers resigned. Lawyers gave up their legal practice. Council elections were boycotted. और economic impact क्या था liquor shops picked, foreign clothes were boycotted, imports of Indian textile mills and handlooms went up, import of goods declined from 102 crore to 57 crore. Then Congress reluctant in participation of women क्योंकि Congress was keen only the symbolic presence of women within the organization. Gandhiji was convinced that it is the duty of women to look after home and her to be good mother and good wives. Participation of women in civil disobedience movement. During Gandhiji's salt march, thousands of women came out of their home to participate in protests and march. Manufactured salt and printed liquor shop, boycotted foreign clothes. Many went to jail. Women were from high caste family and rich peasant household participated. Moved by Gandhiji's call, they began to see service to the nation as sacred duty of women. देन इंस्टीट्यूशनल एंड टेक्नोलॉजिकल रिफॉर्म्स तो फर्स्ट में आप लिख सकते हो कि पहले जो था वो बहुत सब कुछ लाया गया लेकिन वो ग्रीन रिवॉल्यूशन और ऑपरेशन फ्लड लाया गया लेकिन वो सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ एवरी पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया में फिर आप लिखोगी कि उसके बाद बहुत सारे लाए गए जैसे क्रॉप इंश्योरेंस लाया गया अगेंस्ट ड्रॉट फ्लड फिर ग्रामीण बैंक कॉपरेटिव्स आई ताकि वो फार्मर को लो एट लो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट लोन प्रोवाइड कर सके किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड लिया गया फिर एक्सीडेंट इंश्योरेंस स्कीम पीएआईएस को इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया पर्सनल एक्सीडेंट इंश्योरेंस स्कीम इसका फुल फॉर्म याद रखना फिर गवर्नमेंट मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस रिम्यूनेटिव प्राइस प्रोक्योरमेंट प्राइस इंश्योर करती है टू सेव द फार्मर फ्रॉम एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ऑफ मिडलमैन एंड स्पेक्युलर फिर अबॉलिशन ऑफ जमींदारी ये भी लिख सकते हो क्या क्या comprehensive land development program was initiated provision of crop insurance against drought flood cycle establishment of Grameen Bank cooperative societies and banks for providing loan to farmers at low rate of interest. Kishan Credit Card introduced accidental insurance scheme. A personal accident insurance scheme was introduced. Government announced minimum support price, remunerative price, procurement price to reduce exploitation of farmers. अब टेक्नोलॉजिकल रिफॉर्म्स क्या हुए कि एचआईवी सीड्स केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर पेस्टिसाइड्स आए इसको कहीं पे लिख लो ये इंपॉर्टेंट है ठीक है इंस्टीट्यूशन वाला बहुत अच्छा है टेक्निकल वाला लिख लो, नहीं आ पाएगा ये। फर्स्ट में क्या था? HYB seeds. HYB seeds आया। सेकेंड में क्या था? इरिगेशन इम्प्रूव्ड हुआ। थर्ड में क्या है आपका? लेटेस्ट एग्रीकल्चर इक्विपमेंट। फोर्थ में क्या था? स्पेशल, हाँ, स्पेशल वेदर बुलेटिन्स। फिर आप ये भी लिख सकते हो कि ड्रोन वाला सिस्टम फॉर फर्टिलाइजर फील्ड में, ये सब आप लिख सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट क्या है हमारा? स्पेशल वेदर बुलेटिन और एग्रीकल्चर प्रोग्राम। देखो, HIV seeds, chemical fertilizer, pesticide provided, methods of irrigation modernized, latest agricultural equipment introduced, like combine लिख सकते हो, special weather bulletins for and agricultural programs for farmers on radio and television, comparing intensive subsistence farming with commercial farming. Very, very important. Very, very important. This question cannot be skipped. Must write in your notebook. I'm writing it. What is given? Intensive subsistence. Intensive subsistence. Then what is given? Commercial farming. देखो तो क्या लिखा है इसमें? पहला पॉइंट, इंटेंसिव सब्सिस्टेंस फार्मिंग, प्रेशर ऑन, देखो वो प्रिमिटिव था, हाँ, प्रेशर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन ऑन लैंड। क्या लिखेंगे? प्रेशर ऑन, प्रेशर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन ऑन लैंड इज बहुत ज्यादा हाई, वेयर इज कमर्शियल फार्मिंग पॉपुलेशन प्रेशर इज लो। पॉपुलेशन प्रेशर इज लो। देन आपका क्या आता है? इन इंटेंसिव सब्सिस्टेंस फार्मिंग लेबर इंटेंसिव फार्मिंग इज यूज्ड। इसमें आप लिखोगे लेबर इंटेंसिव, इसमें आप लिखोगे कैपिटल इंटेंसिव। क्या लिखा है? इंटेंसिव सब्सिस्टेंस फार्मिंग लेबर इंटेंसिव इज यूज्ड, वेयर इज कमर्शियल फार्मिंग मैकेनाइज्ड फॉर्म ऑफ फार्मिंग, मैकेनाइज्ड फॉर्म ऑफ फार्मिंग। अब इसमें देखो लो कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट, इंटेंसिव सब्सिस्टेंस में लो कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट, लो कैपिटल investment, whereas in commercial farming high capital investment, high capital investment। फिर क्या है? intensive subsistence farming farmers produces their own consumption, whereas in commercial farming production is mean for production for production production for market, production for own। फिर क्या लिख सकते हैं? In intensive subsistence farming processing units are not associated with farms, processing units are not associated with farms, or in commercial farming processing units are associated with plantation, processing units are associated with प्लांटेशन। फिर क्या है, इंटेंसिव सस्टेनेंस फार्मिंग, मल्टीपल क्रॉपिंग इज प्रैक्टिस्ड। इसमें क्या होता है, मल्टीपल क्रॉपिंग। और इसमें क्या होता है, इसमें सिंगल क्रॉप। इन इंटेंसिव सस्टेनेंस फार्मिंग लैंड होल्डिंग स्मॉल लैंड होल्डिंग, कमर्शियल फार्मिंग में लार्ज लैंड होल्डिंग। चलो तो एक बार इसको समराइज करते हैं। समराइज में देखो, इंटेंसिव सब्सिस्टेंस फार्मिंग वर्सेस कमर्शियल फार्मिंग। इसमें प्रेशर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन ऑन लैंड इज हाई, प्रेशर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन प्रेशर इज लो, लेबर इंटेंसिव, कैपिटल इंटेंसिव एंड मैकेनाइज्ड फॉर्म ऑफ farming. Low capital investment, high capital investment, production for self production for self, production for market. Processing unit are not associated with farm. Processing units are associated with farm. Multiple cropping, single crop, small land holding, ये देखोगे। और commercial farming is the interface between agriculture and agriculture क्या बताया था मैंने आपको, agriculture and industry, yes. So economic development of a country is measured by development of manufacturing industry in the following ways. Manufacturing industry help in modernizing agriculture, which forms the backbone of our economy. Then reduces the heavy dependence of people on agriculture by income, agriculture income by providing them jobs in tertiary or secondary sector. Industrial development is a precondition for eradication of unemployment and poverty from our country. Manufacturing goods expand trade and commerce. Export brings in much needed foreign exchange. Manufacturing is the process of value addition. It brings down regional disparities by establishing industry in tribal or backward area, increases GDP, national income of the country. Then, major function of political parties. Parties contest election, then put forward policies and programs, play a decisive role in law, making law of the country, form and run government. Those parties that lose elections play the role of opposition party, shape public opinion, provide people access to government machinery and welfare scheme implemented by the government. Next. Democracy stands much superior to any other form of government in promoting dignity and freedom to individual. क्योंकि every individual wants to receive respect from fellow beings. Passion for respect and freedom are the basis of democracy. Democracy stands for respect and equal treatment of women. Democracy in India has strengthened the claims of the disadvantaged and discriminated groups of equal status and equal opportunity. It provides methods to resolve conflicts, etc. अब क्या है, democracy lead to peaceful and harmonious life. इसका क्या लग है? Accommodate various social division, reduce the possibility of tension between explosive and violent, becoming explosive or violent, ability to handle social differences and conflicts among different groups is plus point of democracy. Democracy develops procedure to conduct healthy competition among different then democracy respect difference and provides mechanisms to resolve them. Democracy always accommodates minorities view. नेक्स्ट देखो, इसका आंसर एक और है कि सिविक्स बुक निकालो, लास्ट चैप्टर आओ, accommodation of social diversity, इसमें 3 पॉइंट दिया हुआ है. It is necessary to understand that democracy is not simply ruled by majority opinion. The majority always needs to work with the minority so that government function to represent the general view. Majority and minority opinions are not permanent. It is also necessary that rule by majority doesn't become rule by majority community in terms of religion, race, or linguistic group. Rule by majority means in the case of every decision or in case of every election, Different persons and groups maybe can form and maybe may and can form a majority. Democracy remains democracy only as long as every citizen has a chance of being in majority at some point of time. If someone is barred from being majority on the basis of birth, then democratic rule ceases to be accommodative of the person group. Next slide. Foreign traders integrating market for different countries. ये पढ़ भी सकते हो. Create opportunity for producers to reach beyond the domestic market. Producers can sell their products in market located in other countries. Helps in expanding course of goods beyond domestic market. It is main channel of connecting country. Highly helpful for extensive trade. Trading interest attract various trading companies. Next. Impact of globalization, very important. Globalization and greater competition among producers has been given advantage to consumer, greater choice before consumer, availability of standard quality product at lower price, improvement in living standard. Foreign investments have increased in many areas like cell phones, automobiles, electronic, and soft drink. New jobs have been created. Several of the units have shut down, rendering many workers jobless. Globalization has also created insecurity of job. देखो मैप है, मैप में क्या बोला है कि ये आपका राजा संसी हो गया, राजा संसी एयरपोर्ट, ये आपका अहमदाबाद, ये आपका कोलकाता, और क्या लिखा है, ये आपका मद्रास, देन ये आपका क्या लिखा है, वो छोड़ दो, बिहार, गुजरात, हाँ चलो हम नेक्स्ट पढ़ते हैं हम लोग. हाँ तो क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ रिसोर्स, ये थ्री टू टू ना. ये पढ़ो. हाँ तो हमारा 2018 का हो गया है और अब हम लोग एक मिनट रुक जाओ, एक बार मॉडल आंसर भी पढ़ लेते हैं. देखो अब हम लोग मॉडल आंसर पढ़ने जा रहे हैं. हाँ तो देखो, Trent had several individuals' interpretation of faith and a picture of God creation that enriched Roman Catholic Church, increased questioning on the sacred authority of church. Hence, they imposed several restrictions to control publishers and booksellers of Index of Prohibition 1558. फिर क्या देखो, इसका पढ़ते हैं. So, amendment in Constitution 1992 has strengthened decentralization, providing local government power and resource by constitutionally mandatory to hold regular and free fair election to local bodies, panchayat, municipal corporation, other urban rural local body. Reservation of seat in local bodies and executive heads for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, other backward class. One third of seats are reserved for women. Independent State Election Commission was set to conduct municipal and panchayat election. State government are supposed to transfer some power and resource to local level bodies. This distribution varies from state to state. Conclusion: it is very effective and depend the democracy. Next, guy. Outcome of politics of social division is decided by three factors. It depends on how the people perceive the identities. If they perceive their identity singular. Hmm. Secularism, the foundation of our country. Our country state India is a secular country in Article 25 to 20, Part 3 of the Constitution. There is no official language of India like the status of Islam in Pakistan, Christianity in England, and Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Every individual has democracy. Sustainable development means the development that should take place without damaging the environment or compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. Resources are not free gifts of nature. Their exploitation will lead to the depletion and thus halt and development. Example, resources like petroleum are exhaustible resource. Their reckless exploitation will lead to their deficiency. Resources are vital for development. Industries, agriculture all depend on resource. Economic development depends on resource. Millions of people earn their livelihood and sustain on resources like minerals, coals, prerequisite for development, water, food, etc. are necessary for survival to protect future generation. Next. Organized versus unorganized. Recognized with the government, not recognized by the government. Rules and regulations given in various acts like Minimum Wage Act, Factories Act. Rules and regulations are not there but not followed. Fixed working hours, no fixed working, long working hours, payment for overtime, no payment for overtime. Job security is there, no job security. Workers are exploited. Worker receives call letter specifying worker condition provision for paid holiday, gratuity, provision for no such provisions. Chief affordable credits it is important. Q creates opportunities of self-employment. Women in Bangladesh through cheap affordable credit set up various jobs like thing for themselves. It helps the poor people to invest in new technology and resource like thermos to buy machines, helps to expand trade and commerce development industries. फिर क्या है? Balkan was a region. Balkan was a region of including the present Romania, Bulgaria, Greece. Mentioned itna this recognized was controlled under the Ottoman Empire. This region has become an area of intense conflict due to breakdown of Ottoman Empire, along with the spread of romantic nationalism. One day, one by one, each of the European subject nationalities broke away. They based their claims on history, and they were once independent, then subjugated to colonial powers. Each tried to occupy the region and power and get independent to expand on others. At the same time, of European power came to the scene. Nationalism aligned with imperialism when Austro-Hungary, Germany, and Britain tried to occupy the territory of the country. Non-cooperation started in January 1921. Each group took up its way. In the cities, middle class group participated. Student left schools. Student left government college schools. Headmasters and teachers resigned. Lawyers gave up their practice. Everyone joined the movement by boycotting European goods using Swadeshi products. Dealers refused to trade in European products. Economic front. Foreign cloths burned in huge bonfires. उसके बाद क्या है? Dealers refused to trade in imported good. Liquor shops picked foreign cloths boycotted. Imports of British good fell half. Our poor people could not afford to wear rich khadi instead of cheap milk clothes. People began tickling back to government institutions. तो Hmm. तो क्वेश्चन पेपर ऑफ क्लास 10, देन ऑल इंडिया स्कीम फॉर, बहुत सारा है ना इसका, सोशल साइंस। हम लोग को डायरेक्ट मार्किंग स्कीम ही लॉन्च करना चाहिए था। जस्ट अ मिनट। तो ये नहीं हो पाएगा, तो देख रही हूँ, ट्राई कर रही हूँ। नहीं है, 17 का नहीं मिल पाएगा, ठीक है। एक मिनट में मॉडल आंसर पे ट्राई कर रही हूँ, मे बी ये हो जाए। हाँ, हो गया। हाँ, तो देख। What is begar? So people are made to work without any payment for their work, and it is called bar. Democracy is a form of government that people approve that of its legitimate, transparent, accountable. Money acts as a medium of exchange. It helps people to by saving their time. For example, a shoemaker who wants to buy it will first exchange shoes for money and then money for what? Multi national companies are those which have their production going on different countries. It helps the to internet production through population system and through latest technology. It helps to develop the country and also the movement of people. Example, MNC design its product in USA, manufactured in China, and sell products in Mexico and Europe. It has its call center in India. It actually manufactured in China for low cost and sell in Mexico and Europe for its क्या लिखा है छोड़ो to USA market, and Indian understands the technical aspects. And even though India is one of the biggest producers of iron and steel, but even also they're not able to produce to own potential because high cost of and low availability of coking coal required for making steel. India has low availability of coal required for making steel, low productivity of laborers, thus irregular supply of rainfall. Hmm, नहीं तो हाँ तो फिर से एक बार स्कीम साइंस नहीं मेरे को चाहिए सोशल साइंस सोशल साइंस तो बहुत सारा है एक दिल्ली का है आउटसाइड का दिल्ली का आउटसाइड का एक मिनट एसएसटी आउटसाइड जनरल मार्किंग स्कीम हाँ तो आ जाओ तो विंडो यस देखो ये किसका स्टेटमेंट था When France sneezes, the rest of the Europe catches cold था maternity का strength. France citizens living in Vietnam were known as colons. ये भी याद रहा city पेज नंबर 34 पे है ठीक है इसको use of cattle cake and fuels is create pollution consumes most valuable mineral which can be used in agriculture. Cafe difference between pressure group and the parties. Pressure group do not aim to directly control this or share power, but political parties directly control share political power. Next. India adopted multi-party system. India के पास multi-party system क्योंकि they large country and has social and geographical diversities and also cultural. It's easy to absorb uh, different diversities in a party system. फिर देखो MNC set up their offices, factories in those regions that get cheap labor and others because low cost of production, they can earn greater profit. Then supervision of function formal sector of loan is necessary because banks have to submit. क्यों है necessary? Supervision function formal because banks have to submit information to RBI on how much they are lending to they are lending what rate of interest. ये बहुत बार आ चुका है. Decade of 1830 had brought great economic shift. Yes, the enormous increase in population all over the world, more job seekers than employment, population from rural area to cities to live overcrowded slums. Small producing town festive from imports of cheap machines from England, where industrial life was more advanced. Then peasants struggle against the burden of federal use, but aristocrats still enjoyed power. What? Aristocrats still enjoyed powers. As in food price due to bad harvest led to white popularism. इसका मतलब क्या होगा? Poverty. Bad harvest led to wide spread of poverty in town and next. During Swadeshi movement in India, a flag was designed. तो ट्राइबल फ्लैग था उसके पास दो फीचर्स थे. The color was green and yellow. It has 8 lotus representing 8 province of British India. ये 1921 में crescent moon representing Hindi and Muslim. गांधी जी का जो फ्लैग था वो रिप्रेजेंट करता था आइडिया ऑफ सेल्फ है जो ग्रीन रेड और व्हाइट था कि इन द सेंटर देयर वाज अ स्पिनिंग व्हील which represents the idea of self-help. Next. Plantation workers Assam had their own understanding of Mahatma Gandhi and notion of Swaraj. क्योंकि plantation workers in Assam, freedom meant the right to move freely in and out the confined space in which they were enclosed. Swaraj means retaining a link from village from which they come. Under in the Immigration Act of 1859, plantation workers were not permitted to leave tea gardens without permission. When they heard of no operation, thousands of workers defied their authority, left plantation, and headed more. They believed that Gandhi would in every one would be given the land in their own village. On the basis of source of raw material, industries are classified as agro-based industry and mineral-based industry. Three industries are different from each other. Agro-based draw their raw material from agricultural products, example textile, jute, silk, rubber, sugar, etc. अब देखो इसमें मिनरल बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री में क्या है ड्रॉज द रॉ मटेरियल फ्रॉम मिनरल्स लाइक आयरन स्टील और यही सब base of raw material के basis पे agro based or mineral based. Next, consumption of energy in all forms are rising. There has been urgent need to develop a sustainable path of energy development and energy saving. देखो, every sector of national economy, agriculture, industry, transport, commercial, and domestic needs inputs of energy. With increasing population and changing energy consumption is increasing very fast. We are not self-sufficient in energy according to the demand. The efficient use of limited energy is essential. Measures to solve the burning problems, we can do it by using public transport system instead of individual vehicle, switching off electricity and not in use, using power saving devices, checking power equipment regularly. कुछ भी लिख दो इसमें. 3 steps to mitigate environmental degradation caused by industrial development. So every liter of wastewater discharged by our industry pollutes 8 times the quantity of fresh water. So, minimizing use of water for processing by reusing recycling in 2 or more successive stages, harvesting of rainwater to meet the water requirements, treating hot water and effluent before releasing them in river ponds. Then, particulate matter in air can be reduced by fitting smokestack to factories with electrostatic precipitator, fabric filters, inertial separators. Smoke can be reduced by using oil, gas instead of coal in factories. Machinery and equipment can be used to generate can be used and generators should get with silencers. Almost all machineries can redesign to increase efficiency and reduce noise. Steps taken to minimize environmental degradation. Let's say steps taken to minimize environmental degradation. Okay, regional party is a party that is present only in some state condition. For party to be recognized as regional party, a party should secure at least 6% of total vote in election to the legislative assembly must score 6% vote or wins at least seats in legislative council. Okay, public interest are those फिर क्या हमारा हाँ ये जो बहुत important 3 challenges faced by political party. Lack of internal democracy, challenge of succession, growing role of money and power. Often parties do not seem to offer meaningful to the voters. Then depositors, the bank are official depositors as well as the nation. Benefits depositor को कि जो बैंक है वो करता है deposits and pays interest to the depositor, pays money in the bank. Then people withdraw money as and when they were then fits to the nation. And this is major portion of deposits and loans. There is a huge amount of from various economic activities. Banks mediate between those who have surplus fund and those who are in need of fund. Thus, it helps in the economic development of nation. It is Indian government put barriers of foreign trade and foreign policy after independence. क्यों किया? क्योंकि wanted to protect within the country from foreign competition. Industries were just coming in 1915-16. Petition at the stage would not have allowed the industries to come up. Next, India allowed import only essential items like machinery, fertilizer. Then, Napoleon had destroyed democracy in France in administrative fields. He had incorporated revolutionary principles in order to make the whole system more rational and efficient. So all privileges based birth was were removed, established equality before law, right to property was given, simplified administrative divisions, federal dues. The system was abolished and from saffron and manorial dues. Jail restrictions were removed, and communication were improved. Mahatma Gandhi called of civil dividends. क्यों? क्योंकि worried by development of disobedient women, colonial government began arresting Congress leaders one by one, led to clash in many places. Civil disobedience वो non-cooperation नहीं. पहला पॉइंट क्या जो गवर्नमेंट थी कॉलोनियल गवर्नमेंट को अरेस्ट करने लगी कांग्रेस लीडर को. सेकंड बहुत जगह वायलेंट क्लैशेस होने लगे. थर्ड पॉइंट हम यूज कर सकते हैं. Abdul Ghaffar Khan, a devout disciple of Mahatma Gandhi, was arrested in 1930. Very crowded, demonstrated in streets of Peshawar, armed cars and firing. Many were killed. A month later, when Mahatma Gandhi was Maha- Mahatma Gandhi was arrested. Industrial workers in Solapur attacked police force, municipal buildings, courts, railway station, and all the structures that rise British rule. क्या हुआ? Then government responded with the police brutal repression. Peace satyagrahs were active. Women, children were beaten, and about 1 lakh people was arrested. क्या क्या लिखोगे? इससे पहले तो लिख देना कि गांधी जी को बहुत चिंता होने लगी कि कांग्रेस लीडर अरेस्ट किया जाने लगा, वायलेंट क्लैशेस होने लगे। अब्दुल गफर खान जो कि वॉट डिसिपल ऑफ महात्मा गांधी उसको अरेस्ट किया गया, वो लिखोगे, डेट तो भी चलेगा। और जो एंकर आउट थी इसके बाद वो पेशावर में अपना वो डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करती है, प्रोटेस्ट। फिर उसके बाद महात्मा गांधी को जब इंडस्ट्रियल वर्कर में अरेस्ट कर लिया जाता तो शोलापुर में जो पुलिस स्टेशन में फायर लगा दिया जाता है। फिर गवर्नमेंट रिस्पॉन्ड करती है पॉलिसी ऑफ ब्रिटल रिप्रेशन, देन पीसफुल सत्याग्रह। विमेन को बहुत ज्यादा बीट किया जाता, मतलब लगता है, और लगभग 1 लाख पीपल होते हैं जिनको अरेस्ट कर लिया जाता है। नेक्स्ट क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है कर importance of conservation of source minerals ka ki minerals are being rapidly consumed, which takes millions of years to be created and concentrated. Minerals are finite and non-renewable. Continued extraction of force led to increasing cost of mineral extraction comes from greater depth along with decreasing quality. Then क्या बोला? Measures to conserve minerals. It should be used in planned and sustainable manner. Improved technology needs to be constantly evolved to allow use of low grade ore at low cost. Then recycling of metals, use of scrap metals, finding suitable substitute. Then roadways, ये देखो छोड़ो। हाँ, पॉलिटिकल पास पार्टी नेसेसरी कंडीशन ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी, इसको मार्क कर लो, ये आने वाला है, किसी ना किसी सेट में मिलेगा। और एक क्वेश्चन है कि आप बहुत ज्यादा कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं कि ये क्वेश्चन और एक और क्वेश्चन है, फंक्शन उसमें लिखना है या फिर मुझे क्या समझ नहीं आता ना। इसमें देखो एक क्वेश्चन लिख लो, उससे अच्छा होगा। पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज आर नेसेसरी कंडीशन। जब भी आपको नेसेसरी लिखिए तो इसका यही मतलब होता है कि उसको आप assertion contrary में की तरह इसको आप करोगे, ठीक है। So without political parties, democracy cannot exist. If we do not have political parties in such a situation, every candidate in election will be independent. No one will be able to make any promise to the people about major policy change. Government may be formed, but its utility will be uncertain. Elected representative will be accountable to their constituency for what they do in their locality, but no one will be responsible for the country will run. Next, देखो, role of opposition party in democracy necessitates the existence of political parties. As society become large and complex, they also needed some agencies and to gather different views and various issues present this to the government. That's why political parties needed. अब फिर क्या बोले? Formal sector loan can be made beneficial to poor farmers and workers. Create awareness to farmer about formal sector of loans. Process of providing loans should be made easy. It should be simple, fast, and timely. More number of nationalized bank cooperative will be open rural sector. Banks and cooperatives should increase facility of providing loans so that there is some informal should be in forms of credit should be reduced. Benefits of loan should be extended for farmers and small scale industry. Then while for sector loan need to expand, it is also necessary that everyone receives these. Okay. Next, importance of globalization 1000 बार पूछा जा चुका है, ठीक है। Standard high standard of living in urban area has not been uniform of producer. Great choice before consumer who are who now enjoyed improved quality of low quality and low of subject. MNCs have increased their investment in India, leading to more jobs and opportunity. Globalization has enabled large Indian companies to emerge as MNC themselves, like Tata Motors, Infosys, एशियन पेंट्स तो याद रख सकते हो, इन्फोसिस भी याद रख सकते हो, टाटा मोटर्स भी। With globalization also created new opportunities and companies providing service, particularly involving IT. For example, in company producing a Mac for London-based company and call center, local companies supply areas to industries and have prosperous. However, a large number of producers working globalization has posed major challenges. देखो फिर क्या है? Map. Then चौरी चौरा, कैलकटा, अहमदाबाद, ठीक हो रही यहाँ पे। हाँ, तो ये इधर है कोची, कोची यहाँ पे, भिलाई यहाँ पे, दिग्बोई यहाँ पे, और इस तरह से हम लोगों ने सो किया। इसमें भी देख लेते हैं। हाँ, तो इसमें भी डिफरेंट है, तो इसको भी रीड करें। आगे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन क्या है? केसर विलियम वन ऑफ रशिया वाज प्रोक्लेम्ड जर्मन एम्परर इन द सेरेमनी हेल्ड एट वर्साइल। फिर क्या मीन ऑफ स्कॉलर रिपोर्ट ऑफ गोबर गैस प्लांट कैसे बेनिफिशियल? क्योंकि वो बेनिफिशियल टू फार्मर्स इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एनर्जी एंड इम्प्रूव्ड क्वालिटी ऑफ मैन्योर। मैन्योर की क्वालिटी जो होती है वो इम्प्रूव्ड होती है, उससे जो मीन गैस निकलता है वो भी बहुत यूजफुल है, और आपको एनर्जी रिसोर्स भी मिल रहे हैं, और क्या चाहिए? ओके, just 2 minutes. देखो कितनी बार ये रिपीट हुआ है, बहुत क्वेश्चन रिपीट होते हैं। देखो गोबर गैस प्लांट का क्या बेनिफिट्स है? आपको फॉर्म ऑफ एनर्जी मिल रहा है, इम्प्रूव द क्वालिटी ऑफ मैन्योर मिल रहा है, फिर एमएनसी सेटअप प्रोडक्शन, MNC set up production, sorry, MNC set up their offices and factories in those regions where they get cheap labor and other resources, because low cost of production there earn get profit. वही सारे क्वेश्चंस है ना? हाँ, मुझे लग रहा है कि इन्होंने सिर्फ ऑर्डर को रीअरेंज किया है, बाकी सब कुछ वही है। ये देखने दो, इसको पढ़ते हैं। तो Mahatma Gandhi launched civil disobedience movement. In December 1931, Gandhiji went to London for second round table conference. Negotiation broke down and he returned disappointed. In India, he discovered the government had begun a new cycle of repression. Abdul Ghaffar Khan and Jawaharlal Nehru both were in jail. एक मिनट, एनसीएम बंद किया फिर भी दिया शुरू। अच्छा मैं समझ गई। Congress had been declared illegal. A series of measures had been imposed to prevent meetings and demonstrations and boycotts. देखो एक बार चेक कर लेते हैं बस। हाँ देखो कितना अच्छा है ये। क्या बोला? सजेशंस टू रिफॉर्म पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। सजेशंस और जो हो चुके हैं उनमें बहुत डिफरेंस होता है, तो बी श्योर कि आप एक्शन सही करके आओ, ठीक है? तो पढ़ते हैं। A law should be made to regulate internal affairs in political parties. It should be made compulsory for political parties to maintain registers of its members, to follow its own constitution, to hold open election to the highest post. It should be mandatory for all political parties to give a minimum number of seats to one third of women candidate. Then should be a quota for women in the decision state funding of election. The government should give parties money to support their election expenses. People can put pressure on political parties in various ways through petition, publicity, and agitation. Ordinary citizens, pressure groups, and movements and media can play important role. Minimum qualification be given to high school pass. नेपोलियन ये पढ़ लिया हमने देखो ये देखो पूछे रहे जो तेरे तस्वीरा दे तो ये फर्क मगबूब देखो ये पूछ रहे थे मैं विक्टर इमानुएल कौन था यूनाइटेड किंग इटली का किंग था 1861 में जो कि हुआ स्कॉलर रिवोल्ट पूछे रहे जो तेरे एल्यूमिनियम मेटल जो है उसका इंपॉर्टेंस क्यों है क्योंकि कंबाइंड स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मेटल सच एज आयरन with extreme lights also with conductivity and malleability देखो अब वही सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं तो now we are not going to देख लेती हूँ मैं फिर भी हाँ ये क्वेश्चन इम्पोर्टेंट है इसको पढ़ लो या फिर आप स्क्रीनशॉट भी ले सकते हो क्योंकि ये क्वेश्चन बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है तो आई एम गिविंग यू टाइम ऑफ 2 minutes okay now the time is over let's discuss civil disobedience movement came into force in various parts of the country Gandhiji led salt march from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi with his followers starting civil disobedience movement thousands in different parts of the country broke the salt law manufactured salt and demonstrated in front of government salt factories countries sorry rich Pandars of Gujarat and Jats of UP were active in this movement. As rich peasants communities were very hard hit by the trade depression, falling price, they became enthusiastic supporters of civil disobedience movement. वो hard hit हुए थे by the trade depression. फिर क्या बोला? Depression continued as cash invoice dwindled. Small tenants found it difficult to pay the rent. They wanted to unpaid the rent to landlord to be limited, and thus they joined the movement. Merchants and industrialists supported the movement by giving the financial assistance and refused to buy and sell the imported goods. Then industrial working class of Nagpur region participated in Syrian railway worker, dock worker, mineral of Chota Nagpur participated in protest rallies and boycotted campaigns. Women also participated in large number. Then क्या बोला है? Classification of communication service. No, ये नहीं है मेरा. ये भी हम लोग कर चुके हैं. हाँ. ये कर रहा है हमने करा है. देखो. ये भी करा है ना. हाँ तो हो गया इस इन दिस वे. अभी हम लोगों ने पता है किसका कंप्लीट किया है. कौन से ईयर का क्वेश्चन पेपर तो अभी 2016 का खत्म नहीं, हमको कम से कम 13 तक करना है, तो हमारा अलगा हो जाएगा। तो लेट्स कम 15 करते हैं अभी। 15 को मार्किंग्स की क्लास 10 अभी इसमें देखो 2015 में जो था वो कुछ कम ही है। तो नहीं क्या होता है। पीएफ डाउनलोड हो रहा है अभी। मैं दोबारा से थी हूँ। ये देखो 1 मिनट क्या नाम है इसका? अच्छा क्वेश्चन अब देखो आ जाएगा वो तुम्हारे स्क्रीन पे। यस आ गया। सेंट्रल बोर्ड देखो 500 कॉपीज in November. Is 340 manuscript. अच्छा तो पहले ऐसे हो देखा देखो ये सब पढ़ लो। देखो बहुत कुछ यहाँ पे लिखा रहता है कि टीचर कैसे कॉपी चेक करते हैं। इससे आपको पता चलता है कि आप क्या-क्या मिस्टेक्स आपको नहीं करना चाहिए। 3 इयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस जिन्हें रहता है उन्हें। चलो अब ये क्या है? मार्किंग स्कीम ओह! ये पूरा का दे रखा है इन्होंने। अच्छा कोई बात नहीं। हमें तो क्या चाहिए? सोशल साइंस 242 लेट्स सर्च 242 242 एंटर यस। ओह! मैंने क्वेश्चन पेपर भी इन्होंने दे रखा है। अरे वाह जी वाह! पहले तो अरे ये तो उसका है। बहुत दिक्कत होने वाला है। कोई बात नहीं, हम लोग इसको भी कर लेंगे। समेटिव्स हाँ, सोशल साइंस का आ गया चलो। हाँ, देखो अब इतना ईज़ी हो जाएगा ये। ये सब पीडीएफ को एक्सेस करना भी एकदम ईज़ी है। अगर आपको पीडीएफ चाहिए तो मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन में डाल सकती हूँ। पहले तो ऐसे मटेरियल्स मिलते थे, स्टडी मटेरियल्स। हाँ, चलो क्या बोला है? फ्रेंच रिवॉल्यूशन लेड टू द ट्रांसफर ऑफ सॉवरेनिटी फ्रॉम मोनार्की टू द बोथ सिटीजन वियतनाम। ठीक है? सिंगल मिनरल रॉक ये लाइमस्टोन है, याद रखना। सिंगल मिनरल रॉक लाइमस्टोन। Then challenge for a political party controlled by members of one family, a challenge of dynastic succession. Barter is a system of exchange of goods are directly exchanged without the use of money. Indian government barriers to foreign trade and foreign investment after independence to protect the local producers within the country from foreign competitions. Events of French Revolution which had influenced people belonging to the other parts of Europe, students and other members of educated middle class began to set up Jacobin Club. Their activities and campaign prepared a way for French army. The French army began to carry the idea of nationalism abroad, thus created a sense of collective identity. Q launched a Rowlatt Act had been hurriedly passed by the Imperial Legislative Council despite the united opposition of Indian members. It gave government the enormous power to repress political activities, allowed detention of political prisoners without trial for 2 years. It was unjust full law. देखो रॉलेट एक्ट के बारे में जो भी है वो सब लिख दो ठीक Rowlatt Act hurriedly passed by the huh. Congress was uh, Congress was not supposed to to include the demands of industrial workers in its program. क्यों? क्योंकि industrialists came closer to the Congress, but the workers stayed aloof. Congress felt that this would alienate industrialists. It would divide anti-imperial forces. Civil disobedience movement would be weakened. और वो कांग्रेस को फंड भी करते थे इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट माइनिंग एक्टिविटीज जो कि इंजूरियस है क्यों क्योंकि डस्ट एंड नॉक्सियस फ्यूम्स इनहेल्ड बाय माइनर्स make them vulnerable to pulmonary disease, risk of collapsing roof mines, inundation and fires in gold mines, and constant threat to miners. Water source in a region get contaminated, or dumping of waste and slurry leads to degradation of soil. Industry gives boost to agricultural sector क्योंकि agro industries have been given a major boost to agriculture by raising its productivity. It provides irrigation pumps, fertilizer, insecticides, pesticide, plastic, PYC pipes, machines, and tools to the farmers. Farmers can produce more and more. Step 6 to save energy, judicious use of resource, public use of public transport, to use bicycle for short distance, switching off electric gadgets. ये फालतू क्वेश्चन है मतलब थोड़ा अपने से भी लिखोगे तो चलेगा multi-party system क्या है if several parties compete for power and more than two parties have a reasonable chance of coming in power either on their own strength or in alliance with other we call it multi-party देखो इसमें क्या है कहानी कि बहुत सारी पार्टी चाहती है कि मैं पावर में आ जाऊं ऐसे में किसी भी दो पार्टी का पावर में आने का चांस है विद अलायंस और विदाउट देन हम उसको बोलते हैं मल्टी पार्टी सिस्टम जैसे इंडिया में दो पार्टी का चांस है एक्स और वाई पार्टी जो कि पावर में आ सकती है ये दो पार्टी जो है वो मिक्सर है चाहे वो अलायंस फॉर्म करके आए या नहीं फिर क्या है इंडिया अडॉप्टेड अ मल्टी पार्टी सिस्टम क्यों क्योंकि देयर इज अ सोशल एंड ज्योग्राफिकल डाइवर्सिटी इन इंडिया social and geographical diversity. India is a such country, large country, which is not easily observed by two or three political parties. System allows a variety of interest and opinion to enjoy political representation. Lack of internal democracy within parties कितनी बार आ चुका है तो सुनो tendency in political parties towards concentration of power in one hand or through leaders at the top. Then parties do not keep membership register, they do not hold organizational meeting, they do not conduct internal elections regularly. Ordinary members of the party do not get sufficient information about the happening of party. Personal loyalty of the leaders become more important. Okay. Necessity of bank and cooperative to increase their lending. Q. Dependence on informal sector of credit to provide more loans to rural household to save rural from exploitation. Important that formal sector of credit distributed more equally so that poor can benefit from the cheaper loans. Bank and cooperative should societies have to increase the lending facilities to improve the livelihood of people in rural areas. Unification of Germany was important. Nationalist feeling were widespread among middle class Germany in 1948. They tried to unify Germany into a nation. This feeling was repressed by the combined forces of monarchy and military. From the pressure to from them Russia took on the leadership for unification of Germany. Its chief minister, Ottoman Bismarck, was the architect of this process. He took the help of military and bureaucracy. Three wars were 3 wars over 7 years ended in Prussia victory and completed the unification of Germany. Prussian King William I was proclaimed as German emperor in 1871. Nationalism spreads when people begin to believe that they're all part of the same nation. The sense of collective belonging came partly through the experience of united struggle. Variety of cultural processes through which nationalism captured people's imagination, history and fiction, folklore and songs helped with promotion of nationalism. Literature also helped to arouse national feeling. Idea of nationalism also developed through celebration of regional festivals As the national movement developed, nationalist leader became more and more become more and more of icons and symbols of unifying and inspiring the nation a feeling of nationalism. Reasons of conservative conservation क्या है? Strong dependence of industry and agriculture upon minerals. Process of mineral formation is slow. They are non-renewable. Method क्या है? In minerals should be used in a plant should be used in plant in sustainable manner. Improved technology needs to be constantly evolved to allow use of low grade of or at low cost recycling of metal scraps. Waste in the mining and processing should be minimized. अब देखो फंक्शन ऑफ पॉलिटिकल पार्टी कितनी बार पूछोगे ठीक है अब पढ़ लेते हैं Parties contest election, put forward policies and programs. Parties play a decisive role in making law. Parties form and run government. Defeated parties in the election play its role of opposition. Parties shape public opinion. Parties provide people access to government machinery and welfare scheme. Pressure groups and movements exert influence in politics. ये नहीं पढ़ना है ना multinational MNCs controlling and spreading production across the world. MNCs set up their production units close to market. MNCs set up production units jointly with local companies. They set up it's where there is a skilled and unskilled labor available at low cost. Large MNC in developed countries place order for the production with small producer have tremendous power to determine price, quality, deliver, and labor condition for distant producers buying local companies. 1 minute रुक जाओ मत्था टेको Oh shit. No, 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 yes. आप देखो क्या बोला देखो ये अमृतसर है ये आपका चंपारण है नागपुर है ये आपका श्रीनगर ये आपका गांधीनगर ये आपका कुद्रेमुख माइंस वो बेलारी वाला मेन एम ऑफ फ्रेंच रिवॉल्यूशनरीज क्या था टू क्रिएट अ सेंस ऑफ कलेक्टिंग आइडेंटिटी अमंग फ्रेंच पीपल in sedimentary rocks, minerals occur in beds or layers. They have been formed as a result of deposition, accumulation, concentration in horizontal strata. Democracy are based on political equality because all individuals have equal weight in electing a representative. Double coincidence of wants means both parties, the seller and buyer, have to agree to sell and buy each other commodities. Goods are directly exchanged with the use of money. Money acts as a medium of exchange and it acts as an intermediate in the exchange process and transaction. We can buy things if we have money in our pockets. Nationalism developed through cultural process. बहुत important है बहुत ज़्यादा mark कर लो इसको. So culture played an important role in creating the idea of nation. Art, poetry, stories, and music helped to express the and shape nationalist feeling. Romanticism cultural movement was sought to develop particular form of national sentiment. Romantic artists and poets generally criticize glorification of reason and science and focus instead of emotions, intuition, and mystical feelings. German philosopher John Gottfried Herder claimed that true German culture was to be discovered among the common people. Das work, it was through folk song, folk poetry, and folk dance that the true spirit of nation was popularized. The emphasis on vernacular language and collection of local folklore was used to carry the modern nationalist masses and to large audience who were mostly illiterates. ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है मेन फीचर्स ऑफ पूना पैक्ट तो पूना पैक्ट ऑफ सितंबर 1932 gave depressed class scheduled caste को reserved seat in provincial and central councils. They were to be voted by general electorate. A act was came into force due to Gandhiji fast unto death. Ambedkar ultimately accepted Gandhiji's stand. The salt march became an effective tool to resistance against colonial because Gandhiji found in salt a powerful symbol that could unite the nation. Gandhiji sent a letter to Viceroy Irwin. कब किया था लेटर सेंड? बताओ बताओ बताओ. जनवरी में किया था ना, 31 जनवरी को. 31 Viceroy Irwin stating 11 demands. The most stirring of all was the demand to abolish salt tax. Then salt was the most essential item of food and was consumed by rich and poor alike. Irwin was unwilling to negotiate, so Gandhiji started Salt March with 78 volunteers. On 6th April, he reached Dandi, violated salt and made salt. This march developed through the feeling of nationalism. People in different parts of the country broke salt law and manufactured salt and demonstrated in front of government salt factories. ये नहीं आने वाला. हाँ, छोटा नागपुर प्लेटू के पास मैक्सिमम कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ आयरन ओर क्यों है? क्योंकि लो कॉस्ट ऑफ आयरन ओर अवेलेबल है, हाई ग्रेड ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल इन प्रॉक्सिमिटी, चीप लेबर, वास्ट ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल इन होम मार्केट. हाँ, सोलर एनर्जी सॉल्व द एनर्जी प्रॉब्लम्स इन इंडिया टू सम एक्सटेंट. ये 2023 में भी है, ठीक. तो इंडिया इज अ ट्रॉपिकल कंट्री. इट हैज इनॉर्मस पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ टैपिंग सोलर एनर्जी. सोलर एनर्जी इज इंपॉर्टेंट alternate source. The government should government should educate for maximum use of solar energy. Government should give incentive to promote solar energy production in India. Use of solar energy will be able to minimize the dependence of rural household on firewood and dung cakes. Then it will contribute to the environmental conservation. Use of solar energy will reduce pressure on conventional source of energy. हाँ, देखो 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 देखो. अब क्या बोला? Dynastic succession is one of the most serious challenges before political parties. ये देखो, इसमें क्या लिखोगे? बताओ बताओ बताओ. चलो इसको पढ़ते हैं. So most political parties do not practice open and transparent procedures for their functioning. There are few ways for an ordinary worker to rise to the top in party. Okay, when many parties top positions are always controlled by members of one family. This practice is unfair to the other members of the party and is also bad for democracy. People who do not have adequate experience or popular support come to occupy position and power. नेक्स्ट देखो, ये क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, ठीक है. कभी ये क्वेश्चन एक तो आपका लैक ऑफ इंटरनल डेमोक्रेसी से पूछ लिया जाता है और दूसरा डायनेस्टिक सक्सेशन से. तो ये जो क्वेश्चन है ये आ सकता है. तो इसको या तो आप स्क्रीनशॉट ले सकते हैं या फिर आप सकते हैं. तो लिख लो कि लिखोगे तो आपको पॉइंट रहेंगे. Dynastic succession is challenge for political parties. क्यों है चैलेंज? कभी सोचा है? तो सुनो. देखो मेरे पास एक पेन जो खत्म हो गया. तो ये लिख लो कि पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज नॉट प्रैक्टिस open and transparent procedures are not practiced. दूसरा क्या लिखोगे कि there are few ways for an ordinary worker to rise to the top in the party. Few ways for ordinary member to rise to the top in a party. Third point क्या लिखोगे कि in many parties top positions are always controlled by the members of family. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ये पॉइंट. Top positions are always controlled by the members of family. फिर क्या बोला कि in many हाँ this practice is unfair to the other members of the party and is bad for democracy. This practice is unfair to other members of party and is bad for democracy. फिर फिफ्थ पॉइंट क्या लिखेंगे people who do not have adequate experience or popular support come to occupy position of power. People having do not having adequate experience and popular support come to occupy position in power. Position in power. नेक्स्ट क्या बोला है हाँ इतना पॉइंट लिख सकते हो. फर्स्ट फिर से एक बार पढ़ लो. देखो जो जो इम्पोर्टेंट है ना जिससे आपको मार्क्स डेफिनेट है कि आपको मिल जाएंगे और अच्छा इंप्रेशन पड़ेगा. मैं बताती हूँ कि there are few ways ordinary workers to rise to the top of party. Many parties top positions are always controlled by members of one family or people who do not have adequate experience, support or popular support occupy come to occupy position of power. Then democracy is accountable, responsive to the needs of people, expectation and the citizen. क्योंकि democracy people have the right to choose their representative and people will have control over them. Citizens have the right to participate in decision making that affects them all. This ensures that working of government is transparent. Then everybody expect the government to be attentive to the needs and expectations of people. एक मिनट रुक जाओगे. Okay. हाँ तो चलो. Everybody expect the government to be attentive to the needs and expectation of the people. It is expected that democratic government develops mechanism for citizens to hold governments accountable. In the opposition parties also can also question and criticize the government policies. They keep a check on the ruling party and make sure that it doesn't misuse the power. चैलेंज इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर प्रोग्रेस। ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। इसको किया वही है, इसको मैं तो वही क्वेश्चन करवा रही हूँ जो आपकी एग्जामिनेशन में आने वाला है और वो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, ठीक है। तो मॉडर्न करेंसी एक्सेप्टेड एज अ मीडियम एक्सचेंज विदाउट यूज ऑफ इट्स ओन। क्यों 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 बताओ क्यों क्यों? Modern currency is authorized by the government of country. India Reserve Bank of India issues currency notes on behalf of central government। देखो ये क्या होता है ना कि देखो आप अगर ऐसे कर लिखते हो तो आपका दो पॉइंट्स बन गया, लेकिन इसको पॉइंट कंसिडर कर सकते हैं। तो बी श्योर कि आप दो पॉइंट्स को तोड़ तोड़ के देखो, ठीक है। ज्यादा पॉइंट्स रहेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा। मॉडर्न करेंसी is authorized by government of country. In India, Reserve Bank of India issues currency on behalf of central government. हाँ, तो in India, no other individual or organization is allowed to issue currency. Law legalized the use of rupee as a medium of payment that cannot be refused in selling transactions in India. No individual in India can legally refuse payment made in rupees. Next, Paru. Foreign trade creates market in different countries. Foreign trade creates opportunity for producers to reach beyond the domestic market. Producers can sell their products not only in the markets located within the country, but also compete in market located in other countries. Next, similarly, for the buyers, import of goods produced in another country is a one way of expanding the choice of goods what is domestically produced. Choice of goods in the market rises. Prices of similar goods in the two markets tend to become equal. Producers in the few countries now closely compete against each other. राइट टू सीक क्रिएटर्स नहीं, इसके बारे में नहीं पढ़ना। हाँ, स्टेप्स कितनी बार पढ़ इसको पढ़ूं मैं? Steps taken by French Revolution to create a sense of collective belonging. I play partly related to and emphasize on the notion of the unified community enjoying equal rights under the Constitution. New French the was chosen to replace the formal royal standard. Easter General was elected by the word active citizen and named as National Assembly. New Hampshire oaths taken matters concentrated all in the nation. A centralized administrative system was put into place and it formulated uniform laws for the country. For all the citizens within its territory, internal custom duties and dues were abolished and uniform system of weight and measures adopted. Regional dialects discouraged and French became the common language of nation. Step taken by French for development of Mekong Delta. No. Okay. Attitude of Indian merchants and industries towards the government was. ठीक है, पढ़ो. During First World War, Indian merchants and industrialists had made huge profits and become powerful. They wanted protection against imports of foreign clothes and a rupee sterling foreign exchange ratio that discouraged imports. To organize business interest, they formed FICI and IICC. IICC का बना तो 1920 और FICCI 1927 by पुरुषोत्तम दास ठाकुर and GD Birla. ठीक है, तो give financial assistance and refused to buy sell imported goods. Most businessmen came to see Swaraj as a time when colonial restrictions on business would be no longer exist and trade and industry would flourish without constraint, without any barriers. Hindrance. After the failure of second round table conference, groups were no longer uniformly enthusiastic. They were apprehensive of spread of militant activities and worried about prolonged disruption of business. देखो definition of manufacturing sector क्या होता है? तो production of food in large quantity after processing from raw material to more valuable products. Considered as backbone of development. भाई अब इसको नहीं पढ़ सकता. फिर से पढ़ते हैं. It helps in modernizing agriculture but also forms the backbone of our economy. It is a precondition for eradication of unemployment and poverty from our country. Export of manufactured goods expand trade and commerce. Country therefore the raw material to a wide variety of finished goods of higher value and prosperous, higher value of prosperous. Fossil fuels, coal India में क्यों है? क्योंकि peat has low carbon and high moisture content for low heating capacity. Lignite is a low-grade brown coal, which is soft with a moisture content. It is used for generating electricity. Bituminous is most popular coal for commercial use. Has special value in smelting iron in blast furnace. इसको लिख लो आ सकता है ये. बिटुमिनस जो है, बिटुमिनस को हम कहाँ पे यूज करते हैं? बताओ. ब्लास्ट फर्नेस में. अब फिर क्या पूछा है? पॉलिटिकल पार्टी. तो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल हु कम टुगेदर टू कंटेस्ट of same ideology who come together to contest election and hold public government. Three component क्या है? Leader, active member, follower. Active measures to reform political party. A law should be made to regulate the internal affairs of political party. It should be made compulsory for political party to maintain registered member. It should be made mandatory for political party to give a minimum number of tickets about 1/3 to the women candidates. चलो अब थोड़ा डिफरेंट वॉइस को डालते हैं और फिर पढ़ते हैं. Then there should be quota for women in decision-making bodies of the party. There should be state funding elections. There should be been, and the government should keep parties money to support their election expenses in kind of example petrol, paper, telephone. Then vote casting should be compulsory in each election. Then data regarding caste, religion, OBC, SC, ST should not be utilized during election period in any form. Next, देखो, banks play important role in developing in the economy of India. कैसे? तो वो देखते हैं. Banks keep money of the people in a safe custody. Banks give interest on the deposited money to the people. Banks mediate between those having surplus money and those who are in need of money. Banks provide loans to large number of people at low rate of interest. Banks promote agriculture and industry sector by providing loans. They also provide funds to different organizations. Now, globalization and greater competition among producers have been advantageous to consumers. Globalization and greater competition both local and foreign has been advantage to consumers, particularly developed section of urban areas. There is greater choice before the consumers who now enjoy improved quality of lower prices. For such products, people enjoy high standards of living. Then, the impact of globalization had not been uniform among producers and workers. Then, service to the top in companies have been able to benefit from the increased competition, have invested in newer technology, production methods, and raised its production standards. Wide-ranging choice of goods in our markets is a recent phenomenon and have brought changes in lives of people. नागपुर, चंपारण, खेड़ा कर लोगे आप. छत्तीसगढ़, पोरबंदर, बेंगलुरु. देखो पोरबंदर ये वाला नहीं आ रहा. ठीक, तो एक बार देखो. ये आपका यहाँ पे चौड़ी चौड़ा है. यहाँ पे आपका खीरा है. ठीक है. ये आपका मद्रास है. ठीक है. मत्था टेको या मैं चंदू नंगे पाँव कहीं ऐसी 2015 का हम लोगों ने कर लिया, अब 2000 ओह सॉरी 14 करना बाकी है। हुँ, तो हुँ, ऐसी देखो यहाँ पे अब क्या हो रहा है ना कि आपको मॉडल आंसर मिल रहे हैं कैंडिडेट्स फॉर एग्जामिनेशन 2014। यहाँ पे मेरे को पेपर नहीं मिला, तो should we read that or skip? If you want to read, then I will do. Okay, I'm sharing this. Okay, cool. So credit plays a vital and positive role for development. कैसे? The example Salim was a shoe manufacturer. He was given more order during festive season, so he bought loan from a source of money, bought raw materials, and hired some laborers. After setting the shoe, he earned a profit after the repayment of loan. Here, credit helps in development of individual. Thus, credit is important for development. देखो अब क्या बोला है कि democratic government is known as responsive government. It is responsive to the needs and expectation of citizens. The Right to Information Act was passed by the Government of India in 2005. By this act, almost all the citizens can have right to be informed about the goods and services that they have bought. This act was passed with respect to the needs of citizens. Democratic government produces a responsive government where people can easily access to decision. ये क्या हो रहा है? ब्लैंक क्यों आया ये? ऊपर में तो ब्लैंक्स नहीं है। तो लेट्स सी क्या प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है? कहाँ तक पढ़ा था हमने? कहाँ तक तो पढ़ लिया था। यस, इस पे नहीं आया। अच्छा इसमें आ गया वो। हाँ, तो फैक्टर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर जूट कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ जूट इंडस्ट्री इन हुगली बेसिन क्या है? तो abundant water availability. Abundant water is available in the Hooghly River for processing jute fiber. The jute growing belt. It is the jute growing belt in the country, so it is easy for industry. Availability of cheap labor from Kolkata, West Bengal, urbaning states of Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and cheap transport of facility. ये क्या लिखा है इसमें? एंड नियरनेस लिखा है टू द पोर्ट हैं, ठीक है। आगे क्या बोला है? जर्मन स्टेट वर डिवाइडेड इनटू अ मतलब यूनिफिकेशन ऑफ जर्मनी के बारे में पूछा है, तो सुनो। German states were divided into a confederation of 39 states. Each state had its own currency, weight, and measures. If a merchant wants to transport the goods from Hamburg to Nuremberg, he had to pass each trade barrier to pay custom duties. Different for different states. Often it took time for consuming calculation. Such conditions were viewed as obstacle to the economic exchange and growth by new middle class during 19th century Europe. So a custom union named Zollverein was formed in 1834. गलत लिखा है इसमें। सीबीएसई ने कैसे इसको नंबर दे दिया? और वही मॉडल आंसर में 1834 to abolish tariff barriers for the freedom and transportation of goods. Zollverein reduced currencies from over 30 to 2. इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस कब हुआ? भारतीय जनता पार्टी 1980, बहुजन समाज पार्टी 1964, Nationalist Congress Party 1999. So Gandhiji decided to launch a nationwide satyagraha against proposed Rowlatt Act of 1990. This act gave government the power of detention of political reasons without trial for 2 years. This act passed despite the भाई ये क्या है? मेरे को ये समझ नहीं आ रहा। मतलब कुछ भी नहीं। United opposition of Indian in the Imperial Legislative Assembly. This reflected that brutal representation of British. So Gandhiji decided to organize hartals on 6th April 1990 against the Smollett Act. But the hartal was unsuccessful. Many political leaders were arrested from Amritsar and Gandhiji was banned from entering Delhi. Government imposed martial and general diet to Next question क्या है कि गांधी जी found salt a powerful symbol that could unite all the Indians. The British had monopoly right to manufacture salt. This reflected the repressive British rule. In January 1930, Gandhi wrote a letter to Viceroy Irwin stating 11 demands. Lord Irwin denied them. Even on the last day ultimatum on March 11, 30, Gandhiji started the Dandi march starting from his ashram at Sabarmati to coastal in Gujarat. With its 78 volunteers, he started to walk for 24 miles a day, with 10 miles per day, 24 days with 10 miles a day. On 5th April, he reached Dandi and ceremonial breaks all copper manufacturing. Multinational corporations Menzies spread their products globally. They set up production where they could get cheap, skilled, and unskilled labor. They spread the product through foreign trade. Goods or products are transferred to another markets. This rapid integration of markets for globalization. For example, well-reputed company, for a well-reputed company, कहाँ लिखा है मैंने हाँ products is designed in United States. Components are manufactured in China and components are assembled in Mexico. In and installed from there, the product is exported globally. The company's call center is located in India. MNC set up production in collaboration with local producers or buy up local. Prakash Food was brought up by Cargill Foods and expanded its production. Thus, production in these widely local. देखो अब ये बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है ये क्या क्वेश्चन नहीं पढ़ा मैंने नहीं सिलेबस का है छोड़ो इसको भाई इन्होंने सीबीएसई वालों ने कैसे ये कर रखा है The goods do not travel from supply locals to demand locals on its own or transported from so we participate in any end of ancient culture folklore games. And fiction to carry the idea of nationalism. Ancient, they reflect the spirit of nationalism. Went to the uneducated crowd. Bankim Chand Chattopadhyay from the first image of Bharat Mata. Nations were personified as female figures to carry the idea of nationalism. He composed Vande Mataram and included it in the Noble of Anand Math. It was sung by widespread during the Swadeshi movement in Bengal. Abhinav Tagore painted another form of Bharat Mata. Jawaharlal Nehru collected all the folklore of ancient India and developed a sense of pride and national belonging to common people. In Tamil Nadu, Natasha Shastri collected folklore and named it folklore of southern India. Gandhiji developed a sense of flag of tricolor, red, white, green. After when Bengali developed another flag, it was widely used during submission when British considered India as primitive, least valuable in world, but Indians all upon ancient cultures and then क्या है? Globalization have even different methods of different kinds of people. It has advantages consumer as well as producer. Globalization has enabled the better buyers in rich household of urban areas in purchasing varied products. Globalization have given them a greater opportunity for selecting very very varied products with so much of special features. Globalization also given the consumers a good product with cheap price. Many consumers have taken advantage of the product with less different to use new printing press. चलो ठीक से he secretly joined to the post and written. He was a creator who was born in the he was sent to exile. Officer began with him as a new order. This is a very platform company. Designation. Mm. No, I cannot read. I am very tired, so I cannot read. But I have to read until and unless you make efforts, you will. So let's start. There is a pressing need for using renewable sources of energy in India. क्योंकि there is only limited supply of energy resources in India. Conventional sources are limited and it takes a long time to renew back and renewable energy source should be used. For example, uh, sustainable development one should press on renewable resource only because conventional source should be left over for future use. So most of the conventional sources are pollutants. It causes pollution. When burnt in air, example coal, petroleum emits carbon dioxide when burnt in air. Renewable energy sources are eco-friendly. They can be retained back and also they do not cause pollution. Example में solar energy, wind energy. Cost of generation electricity. Conventional source.
ले लो लास्ट छील दिए हैं
ठीक ठीक
हाँ तो बता लेगी जूठा क्या होगा
क्या बोला है कि जो रिन्यूएबल सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी होते हैं जो इको फ्रेंडली होते हैं और रिटेन बैक एंड डू नॉट कॉज पोल्यूशन वाले जो कन्वेंशनल सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी होते हैं वो पॉल्यूटेंट्स होते हैं एंड जब आप उसको बर्न करते हो तो वो हार्मफुल गैसेस एमिट्स करते हैं yeah and cost of harnessing electricity conventional source is very expensive but renewable source of electricity initiated cost is high but has a long run. So democracy accommodates social diversity. कैसे बोल सकते हो? Democracy leads to peaceful and harmonious life. कैसे? Democracy usually develops a procedure to resolve conflicts. This reduces tension, becoming more violent and explosive. No society can fully permanently resolve conflicts, but we can certainly learn to respect these differences. For example, in Sri Lanka, the majority and minority always oppose each other. Democracy uh, doesn't mean ruled by majority. Majority and minority should work together to govern according to general view. Democracy should promote the views of majority and minority both. Rule of majority doesn't mean rule by majority community or religion. In a democracy, majority and minority opinion may vary, but each citizen should get the chance of being majority at any point of time. देखो ये जो क्वेश्चन है ना, ये भी बहुत बार रिपीट हुआ है, और इसमें देखो क्या लिखा है, इसको एक बार पढ़ते हैं, क्योंकि इसमें बोला गया है 3 पॉइंट, लेकिन बहुत सारे ऐसे पॉइंट्स हैं जब वो मार्किंग स्कीम में देखने मिलते हैं और जो मॉडल आंसर होते हैं उसमें, मतलब वो ऐसे कॉमन पॉइंट्स है, बट उनको मैंने बुक में नहीं डिस्कस किया, तो लेट्स डिस्कस इट। तो democracy usually develop a procedure to conduct their competition. This reduces the possibility of tension becoming explosive and violent. No society can fully and permanently resolve conflicts among different groups, but we can certainly learn to respect the difference, and we can evolve mechanism to negotiate with differences. भाई साहब एक बात बोलूं, ये जो भी आंसर्स होते हैं ना मॉडल आंसर्स, वो एकदम बुक की कॉपी होती है। हाँ, ये भी लिख सकते हो कि एबिलिटी टू हैंडल सोशल डिफरेंसेस, डाइवर्स एंड कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इज द डेफिनेट प्लस पॉइंट ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी। मैंने जितने भी अभी तक मॉडल आंसर्स पढ़े हैं ना, उन एसएससी की बात कर रही हूँ, उसमें से मोस्ट ऑफ द आंसर्स जो हैं वो बुक की लाइन टू लाइन है। भाई कैसे बच्चे याद करते हैं। नेक्स्ट चलो देखते हैं। एडवांसमेंट इन इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड इज एन इंडेक्स ऑफ कंट्रीज प्रॉस्पेरिटी। क्यों? क्योंकि अच्छा इसको नहीं पढ़ना है, ठीक है चलो। अरे यार अब क्या है देखो, पढ़ो इसको। It is true to say that before 100 years ago, there were few countries with political parties. Now, there are more than 750 political parties in India which have registered with Election Commission of India. It is true that we cannot live without political parties, live, live without political parties, but these enormous amount of political parties often creates a mess. But a political party is very much important for country's development. If there is no political party, then all the candidate would be independent and they seek to promote interest of their own area only. This can offer choice to citizen takes decision for. This can decrease development. Political parties plays a crucial role in the country. They offer choice to citizens taking decision for citizens' favor. Uh, there are national parties and state parties. Since the last 3 decades, no single party has got a clear majority at center. National party has to form by the alliance with some regional party to hold power. So this has strengthened federalism in our country, where there is a lot of political parties competition by getting power. As many of the parties tend to use an unfair way of getting elected, so government has to pass laws. अब मैप भी इसने किया है, तो मैप को तो पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा। देख लो, आपका नरोरा यहाँ है, चंपारण यहाँ है, रूरकेला यहाँ पे है, चेन्नई यहाँ पे है, कांडा पोर्ट यहाँ पे है। कांडा पोर्ट जो है वो मोस्ट रिपीटेड क्वेश्चंस में से है, ठीक है। तो इन दिस वे इस बच्चे ने 22 पेज में टोटल अपनी जो है वो खत्म किया है। अब जो हम लोग रीड करने जा रहे हैं, तो वो हमारा जो है अब हमारा मेन देखो बच्चों, अब हम 2013 का करने जा रहे हैं, और इसी के साथ हमारा लास्ट जो 10 इयर्स का है वो हम लोग पेपर सॉल्व कर पाएँगे। बताओ ये मैं किसके जैसे मैंने अभी बोला। देखो ये सारे ना आपको मैं दिखा देती हूँ कि ये क्या है। भाई साहब इसने तो कमाल कर दिया। And the unification of Italy. During 1830s, Giuseppe managed to decide make a program to unite Italy. He formed Young Italy for the purpose. For this purpose, then मैंने पानी नहीं पिया है, बहुत कंठ सूख रहा है मेरा. After a revolutionary war, King Victor II Emmanuel took the power to unify Italy's state through wars. Through tactful diplomatic alliance, Cavour succeeded defeating the Austrian force in 1859. Under the leadership of Garibaldi, armed volunteers marched in South Italy with the help of kingdoms of two Sicilies, and the peasants drove away the Spanish rulers. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed the King of United Italy. Sure. ऐसा है. देखो न्यूज़फिकेशन वाले क्वेश्चन रहते हैं जो आपको आएंगे, ठीक है. ये नहीं आने वाला आपका. Economic impact of First World War led to the huge increase in defense increased taxes, custom duties were raised, income tax was introduced, prices increased, led to the extreme hardship for common people. Crop failed in many parts of India, resulting in acute shortage of food. Rowlatt Act क्या था? क्या था? He decided to launch nationwide satyagraha rallies were organized, workers went on strike on railway workshop, shops closed down. आप देखो ये कौन नहीं बता पाएगा? बताओ. Metallic minerals contain metal, non-metallic minerals do not contain metal. Metallic minerals found in igneous rock, very sedimentary. Rocks may form both metallic and non-metallic mineral. Iron ore, manganese, copper, lead, bauxite. It is an example of metallic minerals like asphalt, potash, granite, marble, sandstone are non-metallic minerals. Manganese, ओडिशा जो है वो लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर है इसका. कहाँ यूज होता है? मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ स्टील, ऑल्सो यूज इन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ फेरोमैग्नेटिक alloys. It is used in manufacturing of bleaching powder, insecticide, and paints. Then it is used in manufacturing industries, used in preparing paints, etc. 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 अब देखो एग्रीकल्चर और इंडस्ट्री को हैंड इन हैंड. भाई ऐसा क्यों? तो सुनो. जो एग्रो बेस्ड इंडस्ट्री होती है गिव अ मेजर बूस्ट टू एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्टिविटी. Industries provide irrigation pumps, fertilizer, insecticide, pesticide, plastic, and PVC pipe to agriculture. And they also provide different types of machines and tools to the farmers. Then, agriculture provides different types of raw material to the industry, such as cotton, sugarcane, etc. Next, padho. National Party, which gets inspiration from ancient Indian culture and values, is Bharatiya Janata Party. क्यों? भारतीय जनता पार्टी और फीचर्स क्या उसके? बिलीव्स इन कल्चरल नेशनलिज्म. Then wants full territorial and political integration of Jammu and Kashmir with India, stress on uniform civil code, supports a ban on religious conversation. फिर क्या है? Multinational company setting up units in region where raw materials is available in abundance, availability of cheap and skilled labor, nearest to market, favorable government policies, regular supply power, safety हो. लीगल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन चेंजेस ये हमको नहीं पढ़ना, ठीक है. देखो फिर अभी आप 2013 का मार्किंग स्कीम में अभी पढ़ रही हूँ. देख रहे हो कितने सेट्स हैं इसमें? 51 टोटल पेज, देखो 51, एक मिनट आपको दिखा दूं, 51 टोटल पेज है इसमें, देख लो इसको। ओह शिट, ये मैंने क्या कर दिया, मनी एज अ मीडियम ऑफ एक्सचेंज, क्योंकि पर्सन होल्डिंग मनी can easily exchange it for commodity or service. Everyone prefers to receive money in payments in money. Money acts as an intermediate in the exchange process. Money eliminates the need for double coincidence of funds. For example, a farmer can sell his crop to anyone who wants to purchase it and earn money. With the earned money, he can purchase anything. Values of an ideal government: honesty and integrity, justice, truthfulness, transparency, accountability, patriotism. Role of culture in Europe. Art and poetry help to express, shape the nationalist feeling. Then, stories and music also help to express the creation of idea of national nation. Romanticism, a cultural movement, sought to develop a particular form of national sentiment. Romantic artists and poets generally criticize the glorification of reason and sign and put on stress on mystical feeling, intuition, animal emotions. ठीक है? They focused on emotion, intuition, and mystical feelings. Their effort was to create a sense of shared culture, heritage, a common culture past at the basis of nation. उसके बाद पढ़ते हैं participation of Dalit in civil disobedience movement. For a long time, Congress had ignored the Dalits. Gandhiji organized satyagraha in favor of Harijans. Harijan मतलब children of God. They call Dalits as Harijans mean children of God. मतलब कि गांधी जी ने जो भी दलित थे उनको चिल्ड्रन ऑफ गॉड कह के पुकारा, ठीक है। But mainly Dalit leaders were keen on different political solution. So they began organizing themselves, demanding reserved seats. They demanded separate electorate, where they believed in political empowerment. देखो वो पॉलिटिकल एम्पावरमेंट क्यों चाहते थे, ये भी एक क्वेश्चन है जो कि बहुत बार आता है। तो ये क्यों चाहते थे, ताकि वो अपने डिमांड को पुट फॉरवर्ड कर सके, ठीक है। मेजर टू कंट्रोल इंडस्ट्रियल पोल्यूशन, स्मोक इमिटेड, एक मिनट भाई साहब, अभी तक एक भी व्यू नहीं किया इस पे, 2 घंटे हो गए हैं, क्या है ये। हेलो हेलो, am I audible to all? Hello, am I audible to all? Hello, yes, I think I am audible, so let's तो measures to control industrial pollution क्या क्या है। तो smoke emitted by industries can be reduced by using mineral oil, natural gas instead of coal. Then pollutants in the air can be reduced by fitting a smokestack, treating hot water effluents before releasing them in water, dumping and disposing of waste material by landfilling. Pollution norms should be followed. Noise producing machineries and equipment should be fitted with silencers. डेमोक्रेसी इन प्रिंसिपल एंड प्रैक्टिस, ये क्वेश्चन इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है। The expectation of people in democracy is too high. If they are fulfilled in time, new expectation arises. It is not possible to fulfill all the expectation of the all people. Some of them would be satisfied and others would not. Those who are not satisfied start blaming democracy and appreciate the forms of government. Democracy is just a form of government and it can create conditions for achieving something. Okay? So citizens have the right have to take advantage of those conditions and achieve these goals. ठीक है? इसको एक बार फिर से पढ़ते हैं क्योंकि समझ में आया नहीं, ठीक है। तो सुनो, जो पीपल का एक्सपेक्टेशन होता है फ्रॉम डेमोक्रेसी वो बहुत ज्यादा हाई होता है। अगर वो फुलफिल हो गए तो और एक्सपेक्टेशंस आती हैं। जैसे कि मान लो तुम्हें अगर तुम्हारी कोई विश है, अगर वो पूरी हो जाती है तो तुम नेक्स्ट विश जो की डिमांड करने लगते हो। अगर वो फुलफिल नहीं हो पाती तो क्या होता है, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू फुलफिल। और फुलफिल देखो, कोई भी जो इच्छा होती है ना वो अनलिमिटेड होती है, जितना करोगे उतने, जितना ये पूरा होगा उतना तुम्हारा ये बढ़ता रहेगा। तो ये पॉसिबल ही नहीं है कि आप ऑल द एक्सपेक्टेशंस ऑफ पीपल उसको आप फुलफिल कर सको, क्योंकि पीपल हैव डिफरेंट थॉट्स एंड नोशंस। फिर क्या है कि कुछ लोग सैटिस्फाई होते हैं और कुछ लोग नहीं। तो जो सैटिस्फाई नहीं होते उनकी बात हम करें, तो वो लोग ब्लेम करते हैं डेमोक्रेसी और दूसरे फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट को अप्रिशिएट करते हैं। तो डेमोक्रेसी जो है वो जस्ट अ फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है, और ये सिर्फ कंडीशंस मतलब क्रिएट कर सकती है टू अचीव समथिंग, ठीक है? और पीपल को जो है वो खुद वो एडवांटेज लेने होंगे और वो गोल्स को अचीव करना होगा। ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफ मार्केट्स, इसको पढ़ो। इन द पा in the past 2 or 3 decades, more and more MNCs have been looking for location around the world. Foreign investment has been rising, foreign trade also has been rising rapidly. There is a greater integration of production and market across the country today. We have a wide choice of goods and services before us. The latest model of digital camera, mobile phones, TV made us leading to the manufacturers of the world within our reach. Every season, new models in automobiles came to see in Indian roads. A similar explosion of brands can be seen in many others. Needs for rules and regulations. अब देखो नहीं है तो ये नहीं आने वाला ना, ये आ सकता है, कलपक्कम भी आ सकता है आपका, नागपुर आ सकते हैं, चंपारण आ सकते हैं, यहाँ पे नरोरा है वो भी याद रखना। हम्म, देखो जर्मनी में कैसे यूनिफिकेशन हुई, तो नेशनल फीलिंग वाज स्प्रेड अमंग मिडिल क्लास पीपल। फिर क्या हुआ? They tried to unify Germany in 1844, Germany in 1848. Nationalists favor middle class. They tried to unify Germany in 1848. Their feelings were repressed by the combined forces of monarchy and military. Then Prussia took the leadership of movement. Ottoman Bismarck, with the help of military and bureaucracy, was the architect of this process. 3 wars over 7 years ended in Prussia victory and completed in the process of unification. ये नहीं आने वाला। देखो अब सारे क्वेश्चंस जो है वो वैसे ही होने वाले हैं। तो मैं ना सिर्फ क्या कर रही हूँ, इसको सिर्फ ऊपर-ऊपर कर रही हूँ ताकि कोई भी अ, जो भी मुझे नया दिखेगा मैं उसको आपको बताऊँगी। नहीं है, एक भी नहीं है ना? ये देखो। lukewarm response of Muslim in civil disobedience movement, क्यों? क्योंकि after the decline of non-cooperation Khilafat movement, a large number of Muslims felt alienated from Congress. From the mid-20s, Congress came to be visibly associated openly with Hindu religious nationalist groups. As relations between Hindu and Muslim worsened, it resulted in clashes. Even riots widened the gaps between two communities. In 1927, it appeared to unite but failed due to differences over future representative in the assembly. क्या-क्या पॉल्यूशन कॉज़ करती है बताओ तो? एयर और वाटर पॉल्यूशन, क्योंकि वो स्मोक इमिट कर रही है, और जो हॉट वाटर है एफल्वेंट्स है उसको रिलीज़ कर रही है, ठीक है? Air pollution caused by the presence of higher proportion of undesirable gases. Water pollution is caused by the industrial effluent discharged into the rivers. Industrial wastes containing toxic metal pollutes and land and soil. Surface mining also leads to land degradation. Noise pollution results in irrigation, anger, and healing impairment. और तो कुछ नहीं लिखा है ना इसमें। देख लो भाई, मैंने आपको दिखा दिया। अब कुछ नहीं है। ये टूटी कोरिन वाला कभी देते ही नहीं है। अच्छा, टूटी कोरिन बच्चे ही नहीं करते। कोई बात नहीं, वो चेन्नई में है, मैं आपको बता दूँ। इसको छोड़ दूँ क्या मैं? ये पढ़ लो, ये इम्पोर्टेंट है। Coal, hydroelectricity, and nuclear energy are conventional sources of energy. Source of thermal electricity are exhaustible and cannot be replenished. Hydroelectricity is a renewable source of energy. They are much expensive. Solar energy की बात करें तो wind, tidal, geothermal energy have great advantage for the convention over the conventional source, are renewable and inexhaustible. क्या लीगल कौन सी चीज ये भी नहीं है हम लोगों में भाई बहुत है ये अब मेरे को समझ नहीं एक मिनट रुक जा तू नेशनल पॉलिटिकल पार्टी बहुजन समाज पार्टी कौन खंसीराम इसको लाए थे 1984 में आया था अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ खंसीराम फिर क्या हुआ draws inspiration from ideas and teachings of Sahu Maharaj, Mahatma Phule, Periyar Ramaswamy, and Ambedkar. First, stand for the cause of securing the interest and welfare of Dalits and oppressed class. Then, ruling party in UP, Mayawati is its chief minister. Then, seek to represent secure power of Bahujan Samaj Party, which includes Dalit, Adivasi, OBC. ये तो कर लिया हमने collateral very important collateral क्या है assert that borrower owns and use this is a guarantee to a lender until the loan is repaid reason क्या है collateral ensures repayment if the borrower fails to repay his loan the lender has right to sell the asset prevents the loss of lender and any other कितनी बार पढ़ूं इसको Nationalism क्या है तो sense of collective belonging came partly through experience of united struggle, but there was also variety of cultural process. ये भी पढ़ चुके हैं हम लोग क्या है वाटर पोल्यूशन कैसे होता है ऑर्गेनिक और इनऑर्गेनिक इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट एंड इफ्लुएंस डिस्चार्ज इनटू रिवर्स सब पॉल्यूटेंट एंड दैट पेस्टिसाइड ये सब डाले जाते हैं हॉट वाटर फ्रॉम फैक्ट्रीज ये सब डाले जाते हैं एवरी लीटर ऑफ वेस्ट वाटर डिस्चार्ज टू रिवर्स व्हाटएवर इज कैसे कंट्रोल करोगे तो रीयूज रिसाइकल ये सब करोगे ट्रीटिंग हॉट वाटर यूज ऑफ ग्राउंड वाटर रिसोर्स टेक्निकल लॉस और या फिर आप बोल सकते हो बाय इंस्टॉलिंग एसटीपी प्लांट इन अ रीजन उसमें प्राइमरी सेकेंडरी और टर्शियरी जो क्लीनिंग होती है उसके बारे में डिस्क्राइब करोगे अरे भाई साहब अब बहुत ही कम है और in this way we have completed देखो 2013 का भी हम लोगों ने कंप्लीट कर लिया और कंपार्टमेंट का करोगे क्या इसमें दिया हुआ है देखो कंपार्टमेंट का क्वेश्चन दिखाती हूँ ये देखो अच्छा है ना अच्छा है ये अल्लूरी सीताराम राजू होगा इसका तो ये सारे जो क्वेश्चंस हैं ऑलमोस्ट वी हैव डन बहुत देखते हो कितनी बार आ चुकी है ये सब तो आई थिंक हम लोगों ने सब कुछ कर लिया अब नहीं करना है ना तो मुझे ये देखो कहाँ से आप इसको एक्सेस कर सकते हो तो आप इसको सीबीएसई से स्किप टू मेन कंटेंट पे भी जा सकते हो और पब्लिकेशन सब कुछ यहाँ पे आपका दिया हुआ है। तो अगर मैं इस पे क्लिक करती हूँ तो वही सब कुछ है। So in this way we have completed all the PYQ. So let's end this session. Must share the session with all. Thank you.